Gabriel Jesus has been long admired by Mikel Arteta, having enjoyed plenty of success during their time together at Man City. There is no surprise why he wants him as Arsenal's new number 9, but with the likes of Chelsea and Tottenham both competing for the Brazilian signature, today we'll find out if Arsenal have finally won the race. Have the Gunners advanced talks to sign Raphinha? Are they set to push again for Ajax's Lisandro Martinez? And could Napoli's Fabian Ruiz be on their radar? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing because today we have some massive news. So don't forget to smash a like on the video if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Into the final 4,000 on the road to 100k. But there is only one place to start, and that is the transfer update on Gabriel Jesus. This has been a long transfer saga where Arsenal fans have had twists and turns. 1 second Real Madrid want him, then it's Chelsea, then it's Tottenham, and it looks like after all the reports of negotiations and advanced talks, it might be time to samba at the Emirates Stadium. As Fabrizio Romano confirms that Arsenal and Man City have reached a full verbal agreement today for Gabriel Jesus. The deal in place after the new meeting and is told to be a guaranteed fee of £45 million. Arsenal are now working on personal terms with Gabriel's camp, the final step to get the deal completed very soon. The news that we discussed on this channel a few days ago, initially reported by Ben Jacobs, has now been confirmed by Mr. Here We Go in Fabrizio Romano, and Arsenal are now one step away from the official Here We Go. This was then followed by a dagger from David Ornstein, saying that Arsenal have reached an agreement with Manchester City to sign striker Gabriel Jesus for £45 million. Still some bits to sort out, but Arsenal are on course to secure the 25-year-old, who also had interest from Chelsea and Tottenham, and he was Arteta's top target. Now, personal terms are yet to be agreed officially, but I believe that is a formality because Arsenal have put forward an offer that is the best financial package, and Gabriel Jesus has made it very clear to many reporters that he wants to link up once again with Mikel Arteta. The hardest part about this transfer was always going to be agreeing the fee with Man City, and to get the fee at just £45 million, credit must be given to Edu Gaspar. And as previously reported by Ben Jacobs, the base fee of £45 million has been agreed, and that is around £10 million lower than Man City's original valuation a month or so ago, with Jesus being sold on the chance to be the focal point of Arsenal's attack. Edu Gaspar and Arsenal's chief negotiator in Richard Garlick get a lot of stick by a lot of Arsenal fans, saying they aren't really good at what they do, they can't agree transfers, they can't get them over the line, they are always overpaying. But in this case here, Man City set the price tag at £55 million. Yet despite there being so many clubs that also wanted him, somehow Edu Gaspar and Richard Garlick were able to negotiate a deal and reducing the price tag by a whole £10 million. To sign a player the quality, the caliber, the experience of Gabriel Jesus for £45 million, what Arsenal are getting here is a player that not only raises the standard of the current first team, but also the mentality off the ball. Pep Guardiola has described Jesus as the best pressing forward in world football, and last season with Alexandre Lacazette as Arsenal's focal point, there were certain games where Arsenal couldn't get out of the deep block because the striker that was up front wasn't able to get Arsenal up the pitch, press the goalkeeper, press the defenders, allowing Arsenal to counter-press. That all changes with Gabriel Jesus. Not only is Jesus better physically, but also in terms of the mentality. Pep Guardiola has always turned to Jesus in the massive games for Man City, whether that's Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, Liverpool at Anfield. Jesus has a mentality that is tenacious, a persistent hard worker, and that is music to the ears of Mikel Arteta, because that's exactly what Arsenal need in this very young team, the mentality of a top player that Gabriel Jesus will provide. And you know what, don't get it twisted here, Chelsea wanted him, Real Madrid wanted him, Tottenham wanted him, but it's Arsenal that have won the race. And as Ben Jacobs says, Tottenham have been briefing the media a cooled interest in Gabriel Jesus for the past few days. It is further evidence that Jesus prefers Arsenal. The Champions League football isn't seemingly as important as a defined role in his next team. A lot of reliable reporters have confirmed that Fabio Paratici, the director of Tottenham, made a last-minute move to hijack Arsenal's proposal, but it's always been made clear that Jesus prefers Arsenal because of Mikel Arteta, because of the Arsenal project, and the fact that he is more of a focal point at Arsenal than he would be at Spurs. And as Fabrizio Romano says, many clubs tried to jump into the opportunity to sign Gabriel Jesus, not only Arsenal, but they have been very good with Edu. The connection is obvious, but also Mikel Arteta, who wanted him. All that is left now for us Arsenal fans to relax is to get the personal terms over the line, and with Arsenal offering him £200,000 a week, for myself, I don't think that's going to be an issue. Once that 5-year contract is signed and the medicals are passed, we might see an announcement from Arsenal Football Club. We might see an announcement from Arsenal Football Club confirming Jesus as an official Arsenal player. But what do you guys think of Jesus? Is it time to samba at the Emirates Stadium and for the price tag of £45 million? Do you believe Gabriel Jesus will be a success at Arsenal Football Club? But from one Brazilian to another, let's talk Raphinha. According to the reliable Matteo Moretto, there are permanent contacts between Leeds and Arsenal for Raphinha. The clubs are advancing in the operation. There is no full agreement yet, but the parties continue to get closer. At the moment, the Gunners are on pole. So first we get the Jesus agreement, and now advancing in negotiations to sign Raphinha. Sensational samba scenes at the Emirates, and look, I'm getting low-key excited. And according to Dharmesh Chef of Sky Sports News, Arsenal are expected to go back in with an improved bid for Raphinha after agreeing a deal in principle to sign Gabriel Jesus. This next offer is going to be so important. If Arsenal can convince Leeds United with enough money on the table plus the add-ons, that for me is the hardest part about this transfer, and then it's about convincing the player that Arsenal is the place for him. And according to Thiago Fernandes of Goal Brazil, Raphinha's first choice has always been Barcelona, but as they are most likely ruled out, it will be between Arsenal and Tottenham. Raphinha would like to work under Arteta, so as it stands, Arsenal are above Spurs right now. Is the Mikel Arteta pull coming through here? Well, we're not quite sure because, you know, Spurs have got Antonio Conte, they've got Champions League football. There's no need to laugh at them because they also have the finances, so it would be pretty premature of me to go ha 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 Spurs, look, we're getting this player. But with Arsenal fans spotting the fact that Raphinha has removed Leeds from its Instagram bio, potentially that's a little hint from Raphinha that he is definitely on his way out of Ellen Road. Leeds are looking at Otavio as a replacement, so I don't think it's a matter of if Raphinha is leaving Leeds, even after they have sold Calvin Phillips. This is a matter of Arsenal versus Spurs, Mikel Arteta's project versus Conte's project, but most importantly the finances. If Arsenal put forward the best possible offer, which reportedly could cost up to 70 million euros, then with the amounts that Arsenal have been pushing, I would not be surprised if next week is decisive and we might see an agreement for Raphinha to leave Leeds United, to which club we're gonna have to wait and see. But keeping it on the wingers, what about Serge Gnabry? Well, according to the sporting director of Bayern Munich, we really want to keep him. I hope he chooses Bayern. If a player doesn't want to decide for the club, then we have to find a solution that makes everyone happy. With 1 year left on his Bayern contract, there is no sign of a brand new contract inbound, and that technically means that Serge Gnabry is on the transfer market. But since then, it looks like Arsenal's main target is Raphinha as that wide forward, that despite Gnabry having a cheaper price tag at £40 million. But ultimately, this is not about the player's price tag, this is about the wages. Gnabry would demand upwards of £300,000 a week. This is a case of Arsenal now thinking what's the best for the long-term future of Arsenal. Yes, they can afford Gnabry, but is it worth the money to break their wage structure, where if you do that, you're going to have other Arsenal players that are key players as well, then knocking on the door of Edu Gasper, of Mikel Arteta, and saying to Arsenal, if he is getting 300k a week, then I want more as well. The wage structure is very important because you've got two scenarios here. One, you've got Liverpool, a club that is so good at just keeping the players in check. No matter how good you are, if you're Mo Salah, if you're Sadio Mane, they are operating under a limit, and they understand that if they give one player this massive contract, which is ludicrous, then it could spiral out of control and you could end up as a club like Man United, who have been very silly with their money and given out massive contracts left, right and centre. And that's when you end up with players like Marcus Rashford earning £250,000 a week. But what do you guys make of Arsenal's strategy? And if it came down to you, would you prefer to see Arsenal sign Raphinha or maybe Serge Gnabry? Moving on to the future of Lisandro Martinez. With Gabriel Jesus verbally agreed, Raphinha in advanced talks. Edu Gaspar is not stopping there. This guy's barbecue is on fire right now and he's on talks with Lisandro Martinez. As Fabrizio Romano confirms on the Que Golazo podcast that Arsenal have had new contacts with the agents of Lisandro Martinez in the last 48 hours. New contacts means that Arsenal are taking this even more seriously and they're really pushing here. David Ornstein has already confirmed that the player is keen on a move to the Emirates. And with that being the case, I think what we have here is if Arsenal can agree a fee with Ajax, then I really think this transfer might happen. But on the price tag, Fabrizio is saying on his YouTube channel, Ajax want 45 to 50 million euros. But Arsenal still wants him even after their opening bid was rejected. No fresh bid as it stands, but Arsenal are on it. So it looks like the transfers of Jesus, Raphinha and Lisandro Martinez are the ones that are standing out. They are the priorities for Arsenal Football Club and I think there is an intention from Arsenal to get these deals over the line as soon as possible, not let them drag out too much and potentially have all three of these players available for our pre-season tour of the USA. According to the Mail, Arsenal and Newcastle lead the summer chase for Napoli star Fabian Ruiz, who is available for only £26 million. Now, Fabian Ruiz is a profile that is actually very similar to Youri Tielemans, playing as that left-sided number 8 for Napoli, 7 goals and 4 assists in the Serie A. He is of a similar price tag and just like Tielemans, only has 1 year left on his Napoli contract. Potentially there is an argument to be made that Fabian Ruiz is more suited to Arsenal and their need of a left-sided interior in the 4-3-3. The price tags aren't too far apart, so I think this might be a case of Tielemans or Fabian Ruiz. But having signed Fabio Vieira, I don't believe this is a pressing priority, and if Arsenal are going to sign a Youri Tielemans or a Fabian Ruiz, this might be a transfer that happens after we secure Raphinha, Lisandro Martinez, and it might be a case where Arsenal have to sell some players first and then make their moves for a Fabian Ruiz or a Youri Tielemans. According to RMC Sports, Marseille are preparing to launch a major move for Arsenal defender William Saliba, and are willing to spend up to 30 million euros. So Marseille are making their first offer and it's 30 million euros. I'm sorry my friends, that's not happening. Not only is that price tag nowhere near what Saliba's worth, but most importantly, the player has already made it clear, given that infamous interview confirming that he wants to return to the Emirates Stadium. So yes, I understand why Marseille wants him, and I also understand that in the long term, without Saliba signing that new Arsenal contract, there are going to be doubts. But when the player confirms that he's returning to the Emirates Stadium, ultimately I don't have any doubts that Saliba will be an Arsenal player come the start of the season. And moving on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with the future of Arsenal's Portuguese left back, the divisive Nuno Tavares. The latest on the situation is that Atalanta are interested in him and have made contacts with his camp, but it's a difficult deal to do. Real Sociedad have also made contact. Marseille are watching developments but have not started talks yet. With there being so much interest there for Tavares, surprisingly, there is some debate now around the Arsenal fan base of what do we do with the long-term future of Nuno Tavares. The general consensus is there is a top player in there. There is a lot of pure ability there, and if Arsenal were able to coach him correctly and have him gain the experience, then Arsenal might have a very good left back on their hands. But with the amount of interest there and Arsenal having other main targets, I would not be surprised if Arsenal tried to initiate a bidding war. But what do you think is the best for Arsenal and Tavares? A permanent transfer away, or maybe just a loan transfer to gain experience and return to the Emirates Stadium? And finally, on the fullbacks, according to Goal España, Atletico Madrid are interested in signing Arsenal right back Hector Bellerin and have made contacts with those around him. And I think what Arsenal have here is a case of a player that is certainly attracting a lot of interest. If Arsenal are clever in negotiations, and if they could start somewhat of a bidding war, then I don't see why Arsenal couldn't get 10 to 15 million euros for Hector Bellerin. And it seems like the plan of Arsenal during this transfer window is in the first half before pre-season and before the season starts, sign as many as your top targets as you can. Your Jesus, Raphinha, Martinez and maybe Tielemans. And then you have up till the 1st of September, a long time, to negotiate the departures of Torreira, Tavares, Hector Bellerin, and if we're able to generate a decent amount of funds, then I would not be surprised to see Arsenal active on transfer deadline day. But that is the video there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on all of the social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. But that was today's episode of the Transfers FC, and finally we have the agreement in place for Gabriel Jesus. Now all we wait for is the here we go, and then the eyes turn to Raphinha. Until then, take care of yourselves and in a bit.